I am a horrible human being. But before we get to that, welcome to Hannah's French Connection. Now, I'm still a horrible human being. I have been promising you all a special feature with some of my friends from school, and I still don't have that. So I feel very bad because now we're on our 2-week school vacation, and after that I'll only have 2 more weeks of school before I move on to my next place. And so I'm not sure if I'll end up getting it. I did try to get it on Friday, but it just never happened. And so, yeah, I apologize profusely to you all. I know you all will forgive me. My grandmother didn't forgive me. I was telling her that I felt really bad, and she said, well, you should. We've all been waiting to hear about this and see this. So, yeah, okay. I do feel very bad. I'm sorry. And that means today's video will probably not be very interesting because I don't have a whole lot to tell you about. I do have one story about yesterday, Tuesday. I got up kind of late because it's break, and I'd heard the car leave a little bit earlier, and so I knew that I was the only person in the house. But I take one step down the stairs, and suddenly I hear this beeping noise, kind of soft beeping noise, and I stop and I think, is that like the home security alarm? I'm thinking, no, it couldn't possibly be, but a few seconds later it started to get louder and louder and louder and louder, and pretty soon it's ear-splitting. This alarm is going off. I'm thinking, why is the alarm going off? And luckily I knew the code to put in, so I went down to the laundry room and did that, and then it all stopped, and so I went and stood in the living room, and I just sort of stood there for a few minutes thinking, okay, the alarm went off, which means either something really weird happened or they forgot I was here and turned the alarm on. I was feeling pretty bad. You know, they forgot I was here. What? But then I decided to just, there's nothing I could do, so I ate breakfast. And then my host mother came and said, did the alarm go off? And I said, yeah. And she said, why? I don't know. She said, oh. So it turned out when she left, she must have just kind of automatically turned the alarm on, not really thinking about it. So that woke me up. That was something to get my adrenaline running yesterday morning. That's one interesting story. Another story is that last Thursday, second to last day before the break, I had a little adventure of sorts. It was an adventure for me because I really did not want to do it. On Thursday, the entire grade below ours at school had this big race called La Course, and our grade generally does not have to do it. But this year, just so happens that the exact time and exact day that they planned doing La Course was the exact day and exact time of our class's usual sports time, which meant that we had to do it as well. And I stressed out about this for 2 to 3 days. I started counting down, like, in 24 hours, this will all be over. And then the next morning, that morning, I woke up and I thought, okay, 12 hours. It's all going to be over. You're going to be on your way home. You can get something from the bakery you want as a reward. It'll all be over. And then we all started to gather. We were going to get changed. I forgot about this. If you wanted, your team could choose to dress up like a full-blown costume, and of course the girls I was with wanted to dress up. And so for a whole week I'm thinking, oh no, I have to run, I have to dress up, this is gonna be humiliating. I didn't know exactly what it was gonna be like. And so we're about to go and get changed, and it's been cold and cloudy all day, and it starts to rain. Like, it starts to drizzle when we're about to start. And it ends up raining, not hard, but not just drizzling. It ends up raining the entire time. And it is one of the most fun things I have done since I got here. I stressed out about it for 2 days, And when it was over, I was thinking, oh man, this stinks. Why can't it have been longer? Turns out it wasn't just like people didn't take turns doing the race and they timed it all up to get a winner or anything. Everybody, it was a lot of kids, just gathered at the start line. They blew a whistle and everyone just sort of took off. And some groups just walked or jogged part of the way. That was mostly our class. We didn't really do much running. There were some people that were obviously out for the gold that they ran as fast as they could the entire time. And plus, some of the route that we were running was through grass, and because it was raining, it was muddy, and some of it was downhill, and so it was really slippery. I didn't see anybody slip, which is kind of a miracle to me, but it was really fun. We all got completely soaked. I didn't have a very good costume because I was not prepared. I don't have that much with me that constitutes as a costume, like a real costume. But it was really fun. I eventually gave up on my glasses because I couldn't see a thing through them. And I saw several people gave me looks like, whoa, she looks different without her glasses. But it was a ton of fun. It was freezing and it was raining. But by the time we were all done, I was sweating and soaking and pretty happy. I did get something at the bakery in the end to celebrate. But yeah, lesson learned. Don't stress out about that kind of stuff because it's usually not as bad as it's going to be. And I know that about myself, which is why I push myself into these things blind sometimes. Because if I had known before I came to France, oh, you have to do a race and you have to walk to school every morning at like 6 o'clock, not 6 o'clock, 6:45 in the freezing cold. If I had known that I was going to have to do all that, I might have reconsidered the decision to come. And so if you're ever wondering why I'm not very curious and don't want a whole lot of information and details, that's why, because I will chicken out. But it was a lot of fun. Latest Hannah news. I have several projects I'm working on right now during this long vacation. I've realized that I do not like breaks. I have never liked breaks. I always thought I did because everybody else did. I mean, everyone's like, yay, Christmas break. And Christmas break is cool because it's Christmas. You get presents and all that. But other breaks, like spring break, I always hated those. I just never realized it. And so I'm trying to have some stuff to do for this break and make sure I don't stay shut up in my room all the time. And so I've been working on a new song. I write lyrics. I don't actually write the music, although I have a tune form in my head. I think I'm going to write a book about this France trip as a whole, and yes, I will call it Bonjour Y'all, because I think that's a good book title. And my grandmother would be mad at me if I didn't name it, because it was her idea, and she wanted the show title to be named that, but I'll name the book that, Bonjour Y'all. And my next big thing after France is probably going to be Japan. Yes, that's the big reveal. I really, really, really want to go to Japan. I've been looking into possible work options, going to Japan to teach English for several months. I don't know any Japan as of yet, except Konnichiwa, but I think Japan just sounds really cool. Japanese people are so cool. I've met some of them, and their culture just is so interesting. So that's my next big thing, Japan. I'll have a Japan trip series. And maybe I'll write a book about the Japan trip and call it, I can't remember if konnichiwa is hello or goodbye, but the bonjour y'all, but in Japanese. So yeah, Japan, book, and songs. Those are my big projects right now. And also these videos. I really like doing these videos. In case you're wondering, I put a lot of thought and work into these videos. And here's the kicker. I put makeup on for these videos. That is a big deal. If you know me, then you know how much I care about you all and your viewing experience. I put makeup on. That's big. So, yeah, that's the latest in Hannah news and Hannah projects. I'm going to spend a little bit of this time answering some questions. Someone asked about the weather here. Is it like Tennessee right now, getting cooler and more uncomfortable? And it is getting extremely cold right now, extremely cold for me at least, and I'm pretty warm-blooded. But they said that it usually is not this cold right now. The temperatures we're having now are like the temperatures they have in December, and that's like in the 40s. 40s is really cold for me. And since it's been getting so cold, I went on a little shopping spree and bought a coat. And I call it a shopping spree because I did not only buy a coat. Yeah, I also bought a dress and another shirt. Yeah, it's only 3 things, but for me that's a spree because I don't usually shop that much. And I'm thinking instead of getting another care package from back home, it'd be great if I could just get a box and send some stuff back because I'm running out of space in my suitcase. Yeah. I didn't ever end up showing you my packed suitcase, but it was stuffed. And I'm pretty sure it was over the weight limit for the airport, but they took it anyway. They didn't say anything. And so, yeah, I have had to buy a coat for the weather, but it's a really cool coat and it keeps me warm, so I don't really mind the cold as much anymore. And someone asked about my family. Because they don't want to be in the camera or too much personal information given about them. I haven't really said much about them, but someone was wondering if I could talk a little bit more about them. I will do the best I can. They're all very nice to me. My host mother does my laundry for me. That's pretty nice. It's made me kind of lazy. When I get back home, I'm going to have to get back into the swing of doing laundry. And she cooks all the time, which is nice. Not that my mother doesn't ever cook. Sorry, Mom. That's not what I meant. But she does a lot for me that I usually do myself, and so I'm getting lazy about it. And my host father is, he's very joking. Very big-hearted, very nice. My host mother sort of keeps the whole family together, makes sure that everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing, gets us off to school in the morning. My host sister, Alex, that I think I've talked about before, she always helps me with whatever I need help with, and she has a ton of friends. I mean, I don't have that many friends. She has a ton of friends that she likes to go out with. And the other 2 members of the family are all grown up and live elsewhere, so they're not here with us. But yeah, that's about all I can think of to say about my family. So I also have a few questions from my sister, Georgia. And in an email, she says, when you were sick, did your host mother check on you and take care of you all day, or did you just lock yourself in your room and not talk to anybody all day? I don't remember if I told you all. I was sick one day, had to stay home from school. I did not lock myself in my room all day, but she wasn't constantly coming in to check on me because I was sleeping most of the time. After a while, I was able to go downstairs. So I wasn't in my room all day, but she wasn't checking on me all day. Sort of a balance. So thank you, Georgia, for your question. And she also says, I'm starting to miss you, so hurry up and get home. P.S. If you ever tell anyone I said that, I'll deny it. Aw, you can really feel the love in that. Alright, anyway, mark that off the list. And of course, please send me your questions. As you can tell, I am running out of things to say. Unless something really interesting happens soon, I'm not going to have anything to talk about next time. Except for, I think next Monday, we are going to Lyon. It's a pretty big town. Look it up. So maybe I'll get some pictures there. I think we're just mainly going shopping. So I don't know what pictures I'll have. And I told you about that. Not going to tell you about that. Yes, I learned something interesting yesterday. And there's nothing to take a picture of, so I don't have a picture. We were driving to pick up Alex, and we are passing by sort of like a road slope, and then there's water down here, and we're driving on the road, and there's a bunch of workers they're not construction workers, road workers on the road. And my host mother told me that they're digging tunnels under the road because during this time of the year, this is like the frogs' mating season or something. And so all the frogs from up here, they all come down to the water and they practically flood the road. The frogs do. And so they're digging tunnels under the road so that the frogs can go through the tunnels to the water and the cars won't run over them. And I thought that was interesting because in my mind, I'm seeing thousands of frogs like stampeding down the slope to the water. So yeah, I'd never heard of that, of anybody doing that. I don't know if that's just a France thing or if I've just never heard of it. But yeah, and something I forgot again about one of my favorite things of France are the bus rides to and from school. I really just love riding on the bus. I mean, usually on the way back, I get my own seat. Well, everybody has their own seat, but 2 seats that are together, I get both of them to myself. It's just really nice. I mean, it's like a 25-minute drive. I think it's exactly 25 minutes. I think I checked once, and it was exactly 25 minutes. I like even numbers well, it's not even because it ends with a 5, but anyway. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things, bus rides. And getting something from the little bakery before the bus ride and then eating on the bus. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. And speaking of the bakery, I'm pretty sure last time I went there, she started to turn towards the cooler to get my thing before I even asked for it. That's how often I go there, and that's how often I get the same thing every time. I pretty much always get a cherry Coke. And so she's starting to get it before I ask for it. Which is nice. Makes me feel loved. Speaking of which, I got another care package from my grandmother. Yeah, most of that's gone now. I ate most of the chocolate, and she branched out a little bit and got me some gloves, some fuzzy gloves. So that's nice. And also a headband, leopard print. Thank you. And Skittles, which I'm thinking I'll share with everybody at school. That's when school starts. And a list of classic books that every teen should know. That's totally her. And that clears the list. So, I have been wondering what the optimal runtime for these videos is. Some people have told me like the perfect time is just about 10 minutes because you can do 10 minutes, it's not too much, but it's long enough to keep it interesting. But my longest video so far has gotten the most views. So I'm sort of confused. That kind of rhymed. Sort of. Okay, anyway. So please, if you would, put in the comments or email me or something, tell me what's the best length for these videos. Do you prefer it being 5 minutes, which I probably will not be able to do, but you can tell me anyway. 10 minutes, is 15 minutes better? Do you really like the longer ones? I mean, it would really help me if I could sort of be able to focus and have a goal of how much time to make these videos. Like right now, it's running kind of long because I'm sort of going on and on. But please email me or put in the comments section. Also, any questions you have. Please give me some topic suggestions, like, big topic suggestions, because I'm running out of ideas. Until I move to Rouen. It looks like Rouen, but it's said Rouen. Rouen. I can't say it. I'll try again later. But I am leaving in about 2.5 weeks. A week and a half of that is break, which we're on right now. Then we have 1 week of school, and then I leave. And then I'll have lots of interesting stuff to tell. But until then, give me some ideas. So, comment section, YouTube, Facebook, or email me at hannah.atkinsvlog@yahoo.com. I like emails. Those are good because then it's easier to get to them to answer the questions. But the comment section is fine. And so, yeah, send me all that stuff, and hopefully I will get that special feature with people in it soon. I'll talk to you later.